Hey everybody, John here. Welcome back to Catbird Hill. So, about a week and a half has elapsed between the first part of this video, where I was cutting up pieces of that fallen ash tree from last year, from the late summer, early fall, until now. Today is January 24th. As you can see, the landscape has changed a little bit. So in the past week, we got a total of 10 inches of snow from two different storms, and we have had a roller coaster of temperatures. Following the snow, temperatures plummeted really fast, and we ended up with nighttime lows around zero, single digits, daytime highs maybe high teens to 20. Today it's about 40 degrees, and as you can tell from the some of the scenes we've shown you so far, we've almost got like a fog, because the air temperature has warmed up on top of the snow, and everything's just kind of foggy. In fact, we had really dense fog this morning, and as you can see, our creek is really flowing. Very strong right now, and everything is just melting like crazy as we warm up. And believe it or not, I'm not going to take this personally, but I feel like the weather's working against me. It's going to get warmer through the remaining 3 or 4 days here of this week. End of the week, we're probably going to be about 60s, low to mid 60s, and a lot of rain. We're anticipating about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of rain, which on top of all this snow is just going to be a total mess. Right now, walking around, it's every step you take, it's like you're on ice, because the snow has started to melt. It's real wet. It's real slushy. You can see here we just have standing water kind of everywhere, which is making getting around the property really difficult. And this is normally the time of the year when I want to be out here dealing with what I've got to deal with, which is a lot of tree work and a lot of fallen trees, and making firewood for next season. And I want to show you what has happened in the past week that is really making me anxious to get out here and do some work, but I can't because everything's so wet. So stay tuned. Let me show you something. Here's the next job. I think we're up to job number 13 or 14. So what happened over the course of the past week with the real significant changes in temperature, we had a lot of wind. We had 2 days where we had gusts of wind about 50 miles an hour. And so this tree uprooted. This is an old oak tree. It was, I would say, on its way out. Naturally, it was kind of dying a slow death. But just a really big tree, as you can see at the collar there. Probably about 6 feet, maybe a little bit more in from top to bottom there, and they never seem to fall in the right direction. So this actually fell into the woods deeper, and I've got a lot of work to do to get that out. I'd like to certainly harvest some of the wood, from the main stem, the trunk there. I think that would be really good to mill, although there's no way I can, move that with the equipment I have. So I'm probably going to be using the chainsaw mill back here and taking it out in pieces. But, the challenge I have is right now dealing with all of this wet, slushy, ground surface. Obviously a lot of brush. That doesn't really bother me. I can deal with that. But you can see, I don't know if you can see here, there's a tree right here. If we zoom in, you might be able to see some of the damage, that it took some of the bark off on the way down. So it literally skirted right past these trees. I think it might have taken a couple of small trees down, but it's definitely going to be a bear of a job to get this out of here. So just add it to the list. Obviously, a lot of good firewood, a lot of good wood available for to harvest out of there from milling, but a lot of work as well. And then, you know, we've got this kind of a gully here. This is the old mill race that carried water years and years ago. So that's a little bit of a tough thing to deal with. I'm not at all comfortable running a chainsaw in these conditions, particularly when the ground's not flat. I have no trouble chainsawing, cutting stuff when the ground's flat and there's snow, but absolutely not at all comfortable when everything's very uneven and real steep. So that's going to be something that'll be probably happening later on when it dries out, if it ever dries out. So this is about the only productive work I've done in the last week back here, thanks to the snow. This was the result of what you saw in the first part of the video, cutting up some of those logs that were over here. The other end really of this, the big stem, the main trunk of the ash tree that fell down last year. I wanted to get these things up off the ground. This is a really low area back here, and these things are going to be probably submerged in the matter of a couple of days. I just wanted to get them up out of the water. So I'm in kind of a holding pattern here, but one thing I do want to throw out to everyone, and please leave comments as to what your thoughts are. If anybody has any good ideas or better ideas on how to get a fallen tree like that out in the easiest way possible, the safest way possible, other than just getting back there when the conditions are safe and just hogging it out a piece at a time, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. I've considered getting some kind of a winch that I can run off the back of the tractor. I don't know how often I use that. I don't know if I could justify the purchase of that. I certainly can get the tractor back here, but it's got to be really dry to do that, and use some cable and some snatch blocks and things like that. But if anybody out there has done a lot of that kind of work, like pulling fallen trees out of denser areas, please leave me some comments as to what you think would be my best course of action. Other than that, just pray for dry weather. I'll take cold any day of the week. It can get as cold as it wants. It can snow all at once, as long as it doesn't get real messy and we don't have these roller coaster temperatures. I'm cool with that. So until next time, John here from Catbird Hill. Take care.